Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Moore, East Campus librarian. I am also one of the co-chairs of the Librarians Assessment Committee. I would like to welcome you to the recorded version of our information session for the Information Literacy Assessment Pilot. I wanted to start off with the question, what is information literacy? I'll give you a few moments to read the definition from the American Library Association. This definition greatly focuses on output and production. Here, the focus is on the end product and not the underlying processes of information creation and utilization. The question below asks us, in what ways do our students demonstrate their information literacy skills? One of the obvious answers is through research assignments and informative speeches. Then, outside of class, the ways students show us their information literacy skills are truly endless, including from which classes they take and what colleges to attend, to which cell phone to buy or apartment to rent. For today's session, I will cover the information literacy standards, the framework, assessment efforts at Valencia, and the threshold achievement test for information literacy, which we fondly refer to as the TATL. Information literacy is hugely important to the Gen Ed program. The disciplines currently assessing for information literacy are English, humanities, and social science. The library typically works closely with these groups by providing research support for papers, holding class sessions, or the purchasing of material. The checklist for general education is currently one of the tools we use to assess at the program level. Areas highlighted include selection, integration, citing, and formatting sources. In the library world, the librarians take a lot of guidance from the Association of College and Research Libraries. ACRL is a division of the American Library Association and is made up of librarians, educators such as yourselves, and other related industry professionals. Their main goal is to help librarians satisfy the information needs of our academic communities. Along those lines, this group created the Information Literacy Standards, which the librarians have used for many, many years. The Information Literacy Standards were adopted in the year 2000 in an environment where the research landscape didn't have as many twists, turns, and cliffs as it does now. I think we can all agree that a lot has happened since the year 2000. The internet has thoroughly taken over the world and has really changed the nature of how information is produced, how we access it, and how we consume it. Thus, in the early part of 2015, ACRL adopted the framework for information literacy to redefine information literacy curriculum in a world of information overload where there are billions of web pages, a 24-hour news cycle, catfish scams, and celebrity death hoaxes, you name it. There are two distinct components of the framework. First, the frame includes a concept central to information literacy. It's the door that must be opened. The threshold is the content or concept students must understand to develop the necessary skill within the discipline. So once the student learns this frame, opens the door of this frame, then from there, it's a skill that they will always have, something that they will not forget. This leads us to ACRL's 2015 revised definition for information literacy, which highlights reflective discovery, information production and value, and creating new knowledge. So, what are these frames I've been talking about? They're right here. There are 6 frames. Authority is contextual, information creation, information has value, research as inquiry, scholarship as conversation, and searching as strategic exploration. Over the next few slides, I will go into brief detail about each of the frames. Let's start with authority is constructed and contextual. This frame focuses on the author, the creator of the information. If we have Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, and Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, in the same room, who are we approaching for a paper on the Atkins diet? Not only do we have to look at their credentials, but we have to look at how they know the information. Have they had experiences with my topic? What sources have they consulted? The next frame is information creation as a process. When we read an Orlando Sentinel article or watch 60 Minutes, a lot goes on behind the scenes before we view the final product. There are procedures for choosing a topic, how to research it, how it's edited, and how the completed product is delivered to the reader or viewer. Having students understand how information is created will provide a model for them to follow when the roles are reversed and they're the ones researching and producing the information. Information has value is one of my favorite frames. Information has the power to affect our everyday lives, where we live, where we eat, who we vote for, our worldviews, and so on, are all based on the information we encounter. Whether we're surfing Google, accessing the databases, or watching a program on TV, the information we consume comes with a price tag. Through subscription services, advertisements on sites, or through the collection of our personal data. In light of this frame also covers the importance of intellectual property, where in the age of the internet, information can be copied, pasted, and downloaded with just a few clicks of your mouse. Therefore, this frame ensures we are respecting the information property of others through proper attribution and citations. Following information has value, we have research as inquiry. I've nicknamed this one the Sherlock frame. This frame is about placing students in the shoes of a detective. As they research a topic, they are investigating the main ideas in order to reach their own conclusions about the subject. During this process, they will have to engage with informational sources, the suspects, to determine which leads are good and which ones are not. The scholarship as conversation frame deals with good research taking time. Ideas and information are constantly evolving as previous theories, studies, and schools of thought are being tested. This frame looks at the big picture where the answers to our research questions involving subject matters like diet, cancer, Alzheimer's, are not wrapped up in neat little boxes, and competing perspectives allow us to have a more well-rounded, richer view of our research. The last frame is searching as strategic exploration. Research is like navigating a maze. At the start of the maze, you have your information need. At the end of the maze is the answer. In order to make it through the maze, you have to figure out the keywords, search techniques, and sources that are going to provide you the roadmap to reach the end. Also, when you reach the dead ends, and there are dead ends in research where you have to start back and revise your search terms and the sources that you're using. So when you reach those dead ends, you have to take a step back and revise your search strategies to make your way out. So those are the frames in a nutshell. We have a new way forward that we are truly excited about, but we need a way to assess it. And to save the day is the Threshold Achievement Test for Information Literacy. It is a 4-module assessment tool that has been developed to identify the information literacy skill levels of students based on the threshold concepts. Although we have 6 frames, there are only 4 modules because 2 of the modules have been combined into 2 of the frames. The 4 modules will be rolled out separately over the 2015-2016 academic year. Module 1, Evaluating Process and Authority, is currently open. The strategic searching module should be available in early November. The last 2 modules will roll out during the spring semester. The format of the TADL. It is an online assessment, it's brand new, and we will be one of the first institutions to test it. Currently, testing is free while the TADL is being piloted. The test has a combination of direct questions and information scenarios. It also provides various answer formats, multiple choice, matching surveys, etc. The module takes about 50 minutes. We're asking instructors to volunteer for 1 module. However, you are certainly welcome to volunteer for more than 1. For those who are interested, I will send out email notification once a module becomes available. If you are volunteering a class, you can book a computer room through a librarian and have one of us proctor the test. Or you are certainly able to have the students take the test on their own time. In that case, if you send us your class roster, we will then send you a test key and a student key for each student. A little bit about TADL and the General Education Program. This is a pilot and it is not required. We are basically testing the test to see if it can be an option for future information literacy assessment efforts. Therefore, it does not replace any of the current assessment efforts. We are very hopeful that the TADL will provide us with new information about the information literacy skill levels of our students. We're also hopeful that the results will help us better respond to the needs of students as it relates to library instruction. Also, the results are being compared with other colleges across the country, so there is potential that they could help us align with national standards. Also, the TADL may help with brainstorming future revisions of the assessment checklist in the library, or if you would like students to take the test on their own. As a reminder, Module 1, Evaluating Process and Authority, is now open. Here's a look at the 2015-2016 Learning Outcomes Assessment Cycle. We hope to have results for Module 1 to roll out sometime in the spring semester. That concludes the TADL information session. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact me directly. My extension is 2883. My email address is seymour71@valenciacollege.edu, or you can connect with one of your campus contacts. Thank you.